Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing with another edition of South Texas News and Reviews. This is August 13th on a Sunday, 2017. And the air times are Sunday at 9:30 p.m. and Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. My email address that many of you know and have communicated with me is gsansing@gmail.com. These are also available on YouTube along with what's going on in Corpus Christi. So if you just go into YouTube and put in Gerald, Gerald, Sansing, Sansing, then you take your choice. Anyway, I'm going to discuss a few things tonight of importance to me and I think the community. So I'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the light's on. Flowers are in there. I'm going to go take my seat. As I've indicated 1,000 times, it seems like this is a one-man show. I'm here. I'm the one-man show, whether people like that very much or not. Now, what I'd like to do is I gave you the air times in the start of this, and I've got a whole pile of stuff here, just in case. This one airs at Sunday at 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. So that's South Texas News and Reviews, and then again on Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. What's going on in Corpus Christi is the show I do for the Taxpayers Association. I am the president of the Corpus Christi Taxpayers Association. I've been very vocal. I've been going through box after box after box of information and collections that Mr. Joe O'Brien had. Mr. Joe O'Brien was probably the one that put this thing on the map, Corpus Christi Taxpayers Association. And then Jack Gordy took over, and then Mr. Gordy voted me in, or suggested he put me up for a vote when he thought he was leaving town as the president. Jack is my vice president, and so forth and so on. And my hat's off to you, Jack. You're a good man, and I appreciate what you do for this community. I'm not sure that either one of us or Mr. O'Brien was really appreciated, but you know, we try, taxpayers. We try to keep you informed. And then there's Ed Bennett, who's a Board of Regents member at Del Mar College. He's got a TV show. It's called The Voice of Ed Bennett, Sunday at 8:30 to 9, and Wednesday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. Now, what we've been going through lately are tax increases at Del Mar College. It's got a lot of us on edge as far as taxpayers go. I went to the meeting on August the 8th, and I was totally disheartened and so forth and so on at the blather that I got over there. Obviously, that administration doesn't know what's going on as far as their financial position in life. But if you'd like to go defend yourself against another increase to pay off that South Campus and these other bonds from 2014, then you need to go over there. And those will be on the first public hearing will be held on August 21st, 2017 at 5:30 p.m. at the Eisenstein Boardroom, Harvin Center, or Harvin Student Center, Del Mar College East Campus, and that's here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And then the second one will be on August the 24th. Okay, so we got the 21st and the 24th, same time and station. Okay, and the board members voted unanimously to have those public hearings for you. Okay, and the taxes are going up. I can't imagine, since we've encumbered you taxpayers for about $300 million so far for the two bonds that you've got, 2014 and 2016. And then I was totally horrified. I went to those meetings on August the 8th, the Board of Regents meetings. The morning session from 10 to noon was dedicated to a bunch of blather about how much money they're going to need, and oh, poor us, we're broke, which doesn't surprise me at Del Mar College. The accounting over there has been miserable for a lot of years. There has been no true person to understand why you would go ahead and give an extensive financial report and a proposal to the taxpayers. We've got the president over there who claimed to be a CPA, and he's been duping us, as far as I'm concerned, for the past 4, 5, 6 years. Del Mar College employees have not got a raise for oh, I guess it was 7 years, maybe 8, because we were broke. We didn't have any money, but then when you look at the financial statements and so forth that are reported at the end of the year, then we had anywhere from $5 to $12 million profit those years. Then they bought 96 acres of swampland to put a South Side campus on out at Rod Field in Yorktown, and now they want to build a $500 million campus out there, folks, to house 20,000 students. And then we've got 12,000 stagnant with East West and Northwest Center. I think it's 20% or a little bit more of all of our students are dual credit students. We're spending a fortune over there, $4,500 a month over in Alice to rent a one-room unsecured place for GED students to go. And you know, it's a mess, folks, and you need to speak up. It's your money, unless you just like to go out and, you know, you may as well just go out and start your grill a good steak, throw your cash money in there and let it burn up. That's what we're doing at Del Mar College. And I'll get into the, you know, as a Board of Regents member, how you take care of all your bankers and your contractors and your architects and engineers and all these buddies you got around town at public expense, taxpayers' expense. Anyway, one thing that galled me as I went over there on the 8th, and I spent from 10 until noon, then I had to go teach a class at 1 o'clock until 2:30, and by the time I got back over there, they were at the item number 10 and 11. Now, 10 was the discussion and possible action related to proposed third resolution of censure of Regent Guy Watts. That was presented by Mr. Trey McCampbell, who's the president. He's why he can't understand that, you know, a lot of us, me in particular, from the 1700s until my father passed away, I could not join the military, or I would have done so right out of college. And so I went to graduate school trying to help people. Okay? Now, from both sides of my family since the 1770s, we fought for a person's right to freedom of speech. Okay? That's a long time, folks. If you look from early 1700s with those Indian wars and everything else, and then the big one there, and that wound up, you know, about 1776, then I have documentation that, you know, my ancestors on both sides of my family were out there shooting redcoats and trying to get a country where people are free from oppression. Okay? So I don't understand this and every war in between. So why the Board of Regents, the majority of them, not all of them, want to go after Mr. Guy Watts, or excuse me, Dr. Guy Watts, and you know, trample on his freedom of speech, then I don't know. Now, I don't agree with Mr. Watts, you know, on everything he says, but I totally respect his right to freedom of speech. I mean, he does have freedom of speech, folks, except when he goes in, you know, and says something as a Del Mar College Regent. And the Neville brothers had a song at one time that says, it's freedom of speech as long as you don't say too much. And that's Del Mar College and the Board of Regents, the vast majority of them, not all of them. Okay? And then the second one, the 11th item on the thing, was discussion and possible action on report of investigation into whether Regent Guy Watts violated any duties under specific statute or law, board law, bylaw, or board policy, including censure under section I1.J, board bylaws, and B2.1.4, college policy, and other appropriate action, Mr. Trey McCampbell. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask Mr. McCampbell on this show. He is the president of the Del Mar College Board of Regents. I'm sure he could make my life unmiserable, you know, very, very miserable over there if he tried. I don't think that would be a real good idea. But anyway, you know, why, Mr. McCampbell, are you after Mr. Watts? Because he speaks the truth. And he speaks his mind, and he's got freedom to do that. Okay? So why are you so agitated with that? And then if you look at what they did, they went into closed session. That's with the the attorney, okay, Mr. Augustin Rivera Jr. He is the legal counsel there at Del Mar College. He used to be making a bunch of money from with a private firm around here, and he hires that group out of Austin frequently, Graves Daughtry and so forth and so on, with Mr. Christian, who's a bonehead as far as I'm concerned. Then here it is, Texas Government Code 551.074A1, personnel matters. Now this is a closed session, folks. You can't participate in this. Personnel matters regarding the employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, including 1, review of Regent's duties, responsibilities, and statement of ethics, and then in parentheses, Regent Watts, and 2, annual evaluation of college president with possible discussion and action in open session. Okay? Well, they don't come out and tell you what's going on in those things. That's, you know, that's beneath them. Now, they went ahead and got all over Dr. Watts at that meeting, and then we had a response by Gene Tackett of Corpus Christi. He says, respect the election of Regent Guy Watts, and he says, you know, the people that voted for Mr. Watts, or excuse me, Dr. Watts, he is an attorney, folks, okay, and he went to Del Mar College in his preparatory stuff, and he's been very successful as a local attorney. Okay, now, and then he went and got his obtained and studied for and earned his PhD in political science. So I'm going to call him Dr. Watts, and that's legitimate with a PhD. Okay, now this comment is in response to the Caller Times article published Wednesday, August 9th, 2017, regarding the conduct of Del Mar College board member Guy Watts. I met Mr. Watts while I was in high school, and we were, you know, he was here and he was there, and they know each other well. Now, Mr. Watts is a great proponent of academic standards. Now, I'm going to ask you, taxpayers out there that support Del Mar College, do you want a weak, insignificant college? Do you want just people with paper degrees that come out of there and they're not up to par with the rest of the world? Is that what you want as a product at Del Mar College? That's not why I came here. When I retired from industry, folks, this was probably one of the top 10 community colleges, not only in Texas but in the country. And I said, wow, you know, I mean, I'm from Bay City, Texas, and originally that's where Dad's from. And I love the coast. And my wife wanted to come down here, Miss Lynn, and these roses are dedicated to Miss Lynn, okay? She was born and raised in Texas, Decatur, Texas. And then I also want to put in my 2 cents worth with another fabulous woman. Her name is April 23. I won't go through any more than that. Both fantastic Texas women, okay? And then my mother, Miss Connie Sansing, she was from Salem, Massachusetts. So out there, folks, Rito Silva, Dr. Silva, and Mr. McCampbell, and Dr. Mark Escamilla, and Miss Tammy McDonald with HR over there, and Mr. Jerry Henry, and all you people. I know a witch hunt when I see one, folks. My mother's from Salem, Massachusetts, and so was my grandmother. Okay? All right. Just telling you, I know what the hell's going on. Now, I'm tired of people trying to usurp the freedom of speech of Dr. Guy Watts. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't agree with Mr. Watts on all things, but I agree that he is trying to hold Del Mar College to a high standard. Del Mar College academically has slid into the doldrums since I've been there. It breaks my heart to see that happen. And I'm going to read a letter from a student here in a minute that will explain to you why. So now we have a president who's got a PhD in community college administration, and we have bloated this administration at Del Mar so severely that nobody's interested in academics anymore. Okay, all they want to do is make sure that they have a high graduation rate. To hell with standards. Okay, and I think one thing that they got down Mr. Watts' throat was he published an article that said something about academic mediocrity. Well, I tend to agree. I'm in the trenches over there, folks. I do triple overloads with labs at times to get my students through. And I resent the stuffings out of people, you know, trying to water down stuff over there and get just for the sake of getting numbers. Like 20% dual credit students that don't even come to campus. Spending $4,500 a month, excuse me, in Alice for GED program. For a one-room unsecured facility. I'm sorry, I get all choked up. All right, and then today, here comes Mr. Nick Jimenez. Now, I grew up in a military family where you could not, and I did not, see the color of a man's skin or a woman's skin, and I was totally and completely devoid of race. Okay? One person has to depend on another person for survival, and that was impressed upon me on a daily basis by my dad. Okay? Now I got the stuffings beat out of me by 3 or 4 or 5 sons of a Klans member there in South Georgia when I grew up, because I was playing with a African-American young man, a friend of mine. Okay? I mean, I got the stuffings beat out of me. Now, they didn't come back because I beat the hell out of them back, okay? And they figured, well, okay, if he can handle 6 of us, then I don't think we need to do that again. So that put a very bitter taste in my mouth when it comes to racist comments, okay? Now, what bothers me is Mr. Nick Jimenez with the Caller Times. He's a columnist, okay? He's been doing that for many years. He's, I don't know, I forget what they call him, okay? But anyway, today, myths on affirmative action. Now, what he does down here is he's all over President Donald Trump, okay? I'm not going to comment on that. And as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Jimenez, if you'd like to face me down in public and come on this show, I'll debate you on how much you need to be talking about racism around here. Okay. Now, what he did was he said something about Dr. Watt. Okay, this sense that merit in college admissions is being solved aside or shoved aside isn't limited to the Princetons and Harvards of the world. Now, he's talking about the affirmative action method of taking students into the colleges and universities and so forth. Okay, all right. This same distorted view is what animates Del Mar College Regent Guy Watts. Watts wants the new South Campus to be limited to high school students from certain high schools on the south side of the city. These students, he believes, are, as a class, highly qualified to take on high-level college work. Presumably, lesser qualified students come from schools on the city's west side where Hispanics predominate. This belief is far from what the Trump administration is acting on. Okay? Now, you need to go back and read this. This came out today, Sunday, on the August the 13th, by Mr. Nick Jimenez. Now, every time I read a column, it seems to be something about race around here. And that disturbs me deeply, folks. Why can't we get along? I've got students that are of every ethnicity and every religion and every walk of life that you can imagine, and I don't think that I am going to promote and make it easy for anybody of any skin color or religion you know, national origin or anything else. I was brought up that way, Mr. Jimenez, and I'm sorry that you've got that race thing stuck in your throat so deep you can't seem to choke it up and get rid of it. So I'm just going to leave it there. Okay? All right, now, with my disgust with Del Mar College and so forth and so on July the 17th of this year, 2017, okay, actually, I wrote, through my rights under the Texas Public Information Act, Texas Government Code so-and-so, I'm hereby requesting copies of any of all billing, receipts, payments, and reports submitted to Del Mar College employees and or by Del Mar College employees or attorneys that are related to the investigation or investigations of a duly elected Del Mar College Board of Regents member, specifically Dr. Guy Leland Watts, over the past 5 years. In addition, I am requesting copies of any and all logs, okay, or documentation that would indicate how many hours that Del Mar College employees and in-house counsel, Mr. Augustin Rivera, has spent on any and all investigations of Dr. Guy Leland Watts, the current Del Mar College duly elected regent, over the past 5 years. Okay. What do I get? Okay. On behalf of the Del Mar College District, the college, we hereby request a ruling regarding the request for public information attached to this letter. This was sent to the Honorable Ken Paxton, Office of the Attorney General, Open Records Act Division, Austin, Texas. The college asserts that some of the requested information is exempted from disclosure under the Texas Public Information Act, Chapter 552 of the Texas Government Code. Specifically, the college invokes Section 552.101 of the Act in conjunction with the attorney-client privilege found in Texas REVDID 503 and Section 552.107, certain legal matters. Please note that responsive information not subject to exception is being provided to the requester. Okay? All right, so here we go. We're taking this state, the state of Texas, folks. Your elected officials don't want you to know what the hell they're doing. Okay, it's just that plain and simple. Okay, then we got another one. Okay, that was from Augustin Rivera Jr., General Counsel, Del Mar College District. Okay, then on August the 7th. This is what, 15 days or so later? I don't know. All right. Dear General Paxton, on behalf of Del Mar College District, the college, this is 15-day letter brief is submitted in support of the above referenced request for decision previously submitted to your office on July 31st, 2017. The information the college seeks to withhold is attached in Exhibit 1. Well, I'm not going to get that one, okay? The public information request at issue seeks a number of different categories of documents. The college seeks to withhold responsive information to the following category for the following reasons. Quote, ... copies of any and all billings submitted to Del Mar College employees and or attorneys that are related to the investigations of a duly elected Del Mar College Board of Regents member, specifically Dr. Guy Leland Watts, over the past 5 years. Some of the information contained in the requested information is protected by the attorney-client privilege. Okay? And then they go on with attorney-client privilege. That's the crap I always get when it comes to that. I did confirm that Bickerstaff, Heath, Delgado, Acosta, LLP in Austin, Texas. Here are the billings. And it proves that there was, as the Caller Times reported, there's $16,000 plus that were spent by Del Mar College to go after Dr. Watts. What do you say, folks? All he's trying to do is to get a fair shake. Okay? Now, here's a student that wrote me, and it's anonymous, and since I had 2 students that have filed grievances against me, one actually indicated that he was a veteran, and I told him he was not going to disrupt my class ever in class, especially during the labs when it was critical for safety, so forth. He's back there blabbing to somebody, and I said on Veterans Day, which was 11/11, okay, that I wasn't going to put up with that, and I'd sure hate to throw a veteran out of my class on Veterans Day, but that's just the type of guy I am. Okay. That evening, he goes on the public airways, Facebook and that kind of stuff, and says that he wants to, that I'm a phallic symbol, okay, and some other things, a son of a gun, and all kinds of things, and that he would request through his Facebook that his dysfunctional veteran brothers and sisters go over there and take care of me. Okay. Now he scared the hell out of the secretary up there the next day, wanting to file a grievance, some off the wall crap. Okay, and she had to lock the door, and she was mortally afraid that he was in a super tirade. And you know, I don't mind sharing this with you folks. Now then, Del Mar College, through Dr. Rito Silva, okay, who's some kind of a student advocate or something over there, he investigated me, and it went round and round. And then I had my current provost, vice president of instruction, tell me that the next year he wanted to retake the class, and I said not no, but hell no. Okay, then I was putting Del Mar at great jeopardy by not having him go to class. Now I asked for all that information, including his grievance against me, and they wouldn't provide it with me. They said that was under FERPA laws. That's the Department of Education's, you know, the freedom of not letting anybody know what a student's academic record was. Now I don't think that's part of an academic record. I think that's part of a criminal offense, threatening me in public. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. Okay. So I will one of these days. So if it takes suing Del Mar College, hey, I don't care. But here's another student in frustration. Now we get a lot of transfer students in the summertime, okay? And I teach some critical classes for pre-nursing and pre-allied health in general, and then pre-biology majors and pre-med, pre-vets, pre-dental, pre-pharmacy, and all the rest of it. But this just destroyed me when I got this. It's handwritten, and it's not signed, okay? And if they can request to take student records, that, you know, complaints, and not let me know who complained, then, you know, you people can go straight to hell. I'm not going to divulge this person's name. Fire me. I don't care. I've requested to be fired in the past, and all I get back is, well, you know, Dr. Sansing, we can fire you, but you can't request to be fired. I mean, what kind of garbage is that, folks? And I'm just purging my soul tonight. You know, I'm on a roll. I'm so damn sick and tired of all this crap, I could just scream. I am a senior at a liberal arts university. I applied to Del Mar to take nursing prerequisites over the summer. After sending in my transcripts from my university, I was still not approved to register. I had to go to the registrar and explain to them that I have taken 4 English classes where we read the great books and have taken 2 philosophy classes, period. They said those wouldn't be accepted, but they would take my general psychology class. Even though they now had proof that I knew English, they still needed to see my ACT scores, even though I was previously told I needed either college transcripts, my ACT scores, or my SAT scores, or my TSI, which I never took since I'm not from Texas originally. Now, why do we want to hassle students like that? And folks, let me tell you what. I get at least 1 or 2 complaints a day because Del Mar College is over there screwing up in the administration, particularly the registrar's office. They are understaffed, they're overworked, but they're running students away. Now, how do we expect to get up to 300 to 32,000 students going to campus out here when we build that $500 million Southside campus, which we don't need. You people have been duped. So how are we going to do that? Running students off. Okay. It baffles me. Okay. It perplexes me. Okay. All right, now. Then what we've got is that boondoggle out there, Southside campus, which 54% of you people were misinformed and voted for that campus. I think that was predominantly because the hierarchy around here, the wealthy in Corpus Christi, Texas, have the power to get people to go vote, and they won't tell people the truth. Now, I've got the financial records system, checks over $10,000 disbursements for dates from May 1st, 2017 to May the 31st, and then from June the 1st through June the 30th. So I'm just going to tell you that checks over $10,000, it bothers me. Okay? Here we go. All right? We have $25,476 to Moorhead Dotson Associates for advertising. Okay, they're the ones that come up with these little, brochures that you get in the mail that you throw away. Now, how many people out there don't know where Del Mar College is and how to get registered for classes? Only 12,000 of you really care. Okay, that's the total enrollment for all the campuses as we have them. Okay, all right, now let's see. Striddle, Callens and Associates, Consultants, Electrical Engineering, Music, Gen. And this is that 2014 bond, and they did contribute to Mr. Trey Campbell's re-election committee and his efforts. Plus, the Del Mar College Works was when they duped you into $139,000 to start that Southside campus, after they spent $7 million for it essentially without your permission and vote to buy that 96 acres of swampland out there. $23,091.70. Weaver and Tidwell, that's audit fees. We can't keep up with the audits and so forth and so on. Then we're tearing down the building over there at the English building, and demolition to put up a new building over there out of that $157 million bond was $53,199. And then Janak and Associates, architect fees for emerging tech expansion, $81,714,000. Now, Janak over there, I think, donated maybe $5,000 to those campaigns. Now, if you donate and if you invest $5,000 and in one check on May the 11th, you get $81,714 back. I mean, I'll do that all day long. Here's another Moorhead Dots Associates advertising, $50,300. Let's see if we go down here. I won't talk about the insurance. Turner Ramirez Architects, okay, Workforce Development Construction, $12,385. Turner Ramirez Architects contributed, and then WKMC Architects under numerous projects, and I thought they had been relieved by Del Mar College as being the coordinating architect, $27,150, and then there are other checks in here to all those people. In addition to that, those are just the ones over $10,000, folks. That's a pot of money. All right, now, in November, Richter Architects donated, I think it was $5,000 to Del Mar College Works, which was to get that Southside campus bond for $139,000. Okay. And then they also donated money to have you vote for the 2014 bond. Okay. Richter Architects. Architectural fees, General Academic Building. That's the one going in on Del Mar College East, where they got half the campus over there torn up. Jackhammers going, and all kinds of noise all summer. I can hear it even over in my building. building, and it's distracting. Architect's fees, $454,503.65. Now, back in November, on that same vein, they donated the $5,000. So here they've got close to $500,000. I mean, $500,000. Then I think it was $469,000 back in November, and then they've got, you know, pittance here and there, $20,000, $30,000 in between. Urban engineering, $33,741. Urban engineering did go ahead and contribute to Del Mar College Works. Striddle, Callens and Associates Consultants, $19,202.50. They contributed to that. Okay, and then why we're paying all these fees for the you know, audit fees, I don't know. You'd think we'd have somebody that could handle that in house. Okay, let's see. Advertising, $46,740. Cooper Outdoor Advertising. Let's see. AGCM, who donated to Del Mar College Works as a construction management 2014 bond, $18,364. And then let's see, production and so forth, promotions, your name at specialties, $17,000. CSC construction and consulting, $12,000. And then we've got, let's see, there's the GCA, that's our custodial services, $86,360.58. That's, you know, usual. So, you know, I mean, look at all the money we're spending, folks. And then I can go through here, you know, Datacom and $83,000, and, you know, Hanson Professional Services, $24,000. And it horrifies me. And you can go online and get those through Del Mar College. Okay? Why are we spending that kind of money? Okay. Now, here's the Del Mar College Works folder that I've got. And, you know, I could go down through this. This was back in February. WKMC Architects, again, who I think were supposed to be fired. We've got $47,843. And then I went through a bunch of those, and then if do have the printouts of all these things and the monies that were spent for Trey McCampbell and so forth in his re-election campaign. And then here's what galls the hell out of me with Del Mar College Works. This was, and then a guy by the name of Elizondo, who's with one of the refineries, was on the City Council for a while. Homeowners age 65 or older will see no increase in their homestead property taxes above the cap level if the bond is approved. Well, now that sounds real good, folks, but I mean, you know, you've got $55,000, but if your appraisal goes out of sight, then you're in trouble. So here are the people: Turner, Ramirez and Associates, $5,000. They've already made more than that. AGCM, as I said, Durwood Anderson, that's $5,000. $1,000 with McCall, I don't know those people. Fulton Construction, Philip Skorbarczyk, he owns that now. He bought that, or was, you know, he and Joe Fulton came to some thing like that. Urban Engineering, they've got big checks here lately. They've invested $2,500. $4,000 from WKMC, and they're way over, you know, $500,000. I mean, yeah, they're in the millions now, folks. That's Bill Wilson. Richter Architects, $5,000. They're up to $500,000 roughly right now. And then, you know, the thing goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So you've been duped, ladies and gentlemen. You've been screwed. If you really want to know my perspective of it, I hate to be that blunt and crude about it, but I am a taxpayer. For many years, I did not get a pay increase from Del Mar College because I was unworthy of that, and we were broke, didn't have any money, even though we had lots of money coming in you know, profits over those years. Now here's another one that burns my butt, and well, before I get to that one, I want to end the show with that one. We've got a region over there that's one of the administrative darlings over there, and they had a meeting up in San Antonio not too long ago. Mr. Gabe Rivas. Okay. Now on his Facebook, what he's done, which is much to my dismay, and I've said this before, he started Facebook with all these drinks he was having up there and such a good time with his honey in San Antonio. Okay, that was a Del Mar College Regents trip. Okay, the president went, several of the other regents, and then he's got the unmitigated gall when he's got this Del Mar College shirt on to be seen with his honey underneath the lights in the bar, and he's always talking about how much fun it is to go out all the time and go bar hopping. Okay, now is that what you want for an academic leader? Okay, now I don't know, I think he's got an associate's degree, but that's about it. So I've asked for all the credit cards and the so forth and so on. They have redacted the numbers. I don't want those credit cards. But it says, Dr. Escamilla went up there to that meeting, and let's see, Sandra Messberger, she's a Board of Regents member, and they've got their expenses and so forth and so on. And we're as Nicholas Adami, Dr. Adami, and we've got all these people going to these meetings up there, Carol Scott and so forth, and that's on your nickel, folks. Okay, so is that what they're all doing up there? Or is it just Mr. Rivas that's out preaching that he and his honey like to go bar hopping? Okay? That's on Facebook. That's public information, folks. So that ain't slander. That's public information. So if you want to continue doing that, sir, that's fine with me. Okay? And then I've got, I asked for the tirade that Mr. Augustin Rivera Jr. gave. He's the in-house counsel. And it says, respect the election of Guy Watts. This was the letter to the editor that I had mentioned before, okay, by Gene Tackett. And this was on Facebook. But what I did was, I sent this in on August the 10th. Through my rights under Texas Publication Information Act, Government Code so-and-so, I am hereby requesting the following. A DVD copy of the entire Del Mar College Board of Regents meeting held on August 8th. And I want to find out how screwy all those numbers were that were not backed up and did not give the specifics on what they're going to go after you for tax and what the budget is. And they expect these, and they've gotten away with it in the past. The regents up there were unsophisticated. They don't know what to ask for. Okay, I mean, Mr. Rivas over here with his honey, he's a photographer around here. And then a copy of any and all documents presented that were read in public to the Del Mar College Board of Regents members by Mr. Augustin Rivera Jr., General Counsel, Del Mar College, during the open session of the regular agenda items number 10 and 11 on August 8th. Okay, so they'll probably say that there's attorney-client privilege on he made a public tirade and read all that crap about Mr. Watts, and I'm sure he's going to wiggle it out some way. And let's see, the student's name, I had a student that slandered me and didn't sign it. My department chair sent me all kinds of stuff, he sent me a copy of it and said that the student didn't want to be identified. The student was complaining because I had done some stuff that I said I was going to do 8 times leading up to final exams and so forth and so on. But they say that I can't get that information because of the FERPA laws. Okay? So, what can I say? That's the Department of Education with the freedom. You can't divulge grades and stuff from a student, which is fine. But if they want to complain about you, I don't think that's part of their official records because they didn't file it with the college. they filed it against me. So I'm going hell-bent for leather to the Attorney General's office and to the feds and to the Department of Education, and I'm going to find out, by God, whether that's true or not. Period. Now, here's another one that I've got. Let me read this to you. Okay? Now, we have some privileged people at Del Mar College who think that they are a gift to society and everything else. And there's a professor over there, two of them actually, that go out and solicit grants. Okay? And they think that research at a community college level is the way to go. Now, I did have an extensive research program in the 90s with Herc Celanese to help the students understand what was going on. Okay? And to give them an extra boost for my biology majors that wanted to consider going into scientific research, biological, biochemical, and chemical. Okay? Now, here comes this gentleman who's a Del Mar College, I think, assistant or associate professor. And he gets these grants, okay, from places I've never heard of at times, okay. But here it is. Students take aim at antibiotic resistance, okay. Now, I was in the antibiotic development business from essentially 1968 until I retired and came here, and I still keep up with it. Okay. Now here's what we've got. The students will travel to Arlington, Virginia in June, Innovation Boot Camp, before presenting their idea to congressional representatives on Capitol Hill. If they win, each of them will come home with $1,500. Now here's the product that they have developed. They say they have developed. Okay. Interosort is a detergent that kills harmful bacteria on surfaces and medical equipment. Okay. The viruses in the detergent are tailor-made, targeting only antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Okay. Using the soap in medical settings would prevent people from contracting deadly infections. It costs $90 billion a year for hospitals to take care of hospital-associated infections. There's an opportunity for hospitals and facilities to invest in preventing the spread of antibiotic resistance. Using viruses to fight bacteria sounds like a cause for concern, but it's safe to use the method around people. Part of the student's pitch works to dispel the negative connotations. Now, I've been told that this type of viral cures for bacterial diseases was a very new thing. I've got literature dating back into the 1920s in Russia when that was being done. So this is cutting edge since the 1920s. Okay. All right. Anyway, all these viruses have never been seen by science. Providing discovery-based research in our classes that allow our students to do this. The research has retained students like so-and-so who was planning to get his degree in his home country of Canada. What you see here is cutting edge. Like I say, folks, 1920s in the 2017, that's cutting edge. Yeah, that sure sounds like it to me. All right, so what they've done is they say they have this product which they call Interosort. Okay? All right. Now, this was in the Caller Times on May the 16th of this year. Okay? Now, then what I've done is I've been accused in writing in national publications of being a substandard faculty member because I teach more of a traditional class than all this fluff and so forth and so on. Del Mar College students develop life-saving spray. Antibacterial spray wins first place in national competition. Okay? A spray that slows the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria developed by Del Mar College students won first place in the recent third annual Community College Innovation Challenge. Finalists were announced in May in Washington, D.C. after Interosort beat out 9 finalists for a prize of $1,500 each for team members. Okay, the Del Mar College. I'm not going to name the names. Okay, becoming the champion of the NSF Innovation Challenge is amazing because over 100 teams, competed and so forth and so on. I'm not going to mention names. All right. So what they've done is they say that they have a spray that slows the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria developed by the students. So what I did, just out of curiosity, and I've still got it hang up here because what qualifies some of these students to go to these meetings. If they're not registered students, then we've got a problem. So, Dr. Escamilla, through my rights under the Texas Publication Information Act, code so-and-so, I am hereby requesting copies of any and all contracts, agreements, or U.S. patent applications between Del Mar College and any other organization, business related to the numerous publications that Del Mar students and faculty members have developed a life-saving spray, Enterosword. I would like to set a time and place at which I can review all of the research, notes, and documentation related to the development of the proposed new product, Enterosword, okay, by the students, faculty members, and staff of Del Mar College over the past 5 years. I am also requesting a review time for all documents pertaining to any and all taxpayer-supported grants related to the research conducted by the Del Mar College students and faculty members involved in the development of said Enterosword. Okay. Now, here's what I get back. Mr. Sansing, thank you for your Texas Public Information Act request that was received by the college on July 17, 2017. The college has reviewed your Public Information Act request for information relating to a life-saving spray, Enterosword, has determined that there are no documents responsive to your request. So there are no research notes, there are no grants that supported this, or anything else that I asked for. Okay. Enterosword was a theoretical concept submitted by students in a competition and is not a real product. I want to see how much money's been spent for all this blather that goes out into the public airways to the public, okay? And I want to find out, especially since I'm accused of being a substandard faculty member. And then we've got labs over there that are Class 2 human pathogens that they're testing. Students walk out of the laboratories when they're in there doing that, quote, search with these Class 2 known pathogenic organisms, human pathogens, and they walk around with their safety gloves on, and they come outside to a little table and they pick up their drinks with the gloves on. And I saw one of them over there one day eating a donut with the gloves on, and I saw another one over there eating a piece of pizza with the donut, and so forth and so on. Now, another thing that bothers me that I'm going to get to the bottom of, and I hope that some of you taxpayers out there will help me, is the fact that some of these people, these students that go on these competitions, are supposed to be registered students with Del Mar College. And I had an instance this summer, and I'm not going to name names, I'm going to get to the bottom of it, where a student signed up indicating that that student needed to be signed up for summer courses, for fall courses, when they should have been signed up for summer courses and they weren't, to go on this taxpayer-paid foray to that competition. And then that person was told quite explicitly that the pay date for those fall courses, which I don't think were legitimate to begin with, was about August 20th. No, I guess it was July 20th, okay? So, and that if they didn't pay their tuition for the fall classes, then they would be dropped from those classes. And that person indicated, well, I don't care, I just need to be signed up at the present to go to that meeting. And then come to find out, that student did not pay for those classes, therefore was even dropped from the fall. What can I say, folks? I mean, and these people are privileged over there. The administration is just drooling because here we are with these award-winning faculty members, the Crichton Award, okay? And we're doing all this wonderful things, okay? Now, another thing that bothers me, growth and critics of American higher education. Higher education in this country right now stinks, folks, okay? And then we've got another one over here that gets, you know, declining Texas standardized testing scores raise concerns. That came out in July 12th in the Caller Times. I'm distressed too. Reducing school funding proposed. This came out on yesterday in the Caller Times. Senate responds with a scaled-back version of the bill. So now we want to, you know, we're so brilliant in the state of Texas with our legislators and everything that here we want, what we want to do, okay, is reduce the funding. That's just what we need from the state, isn't it? As our buddies up there are selling all the gas and oil and, you know, making all those big profits and so forth. And then now we've got on the, it horrifies me on a national scene that Rick Perry, former governor of Texas, who's one of the biggest scoundrels I've ever witnessed in my life, then you know, he was all for burning coal here in the Las Brisas Energy Center here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I spent a hell of a lot of my personal money and 7 years of my life and finally convinced enough people at the state and the feds too that we didn't need that power plant down here killing 80 babies a year and harming a bunch of cardiac patients and destroying lungs in Corpus Christi, Texas. And now he's the energy czar. For shame, President Trump, you know, pull your head out from your dark place and get busy and get some stuff done. And I'm so damn sick and tired of the racial connotations around here from Nick Jimenez and so forth and so on. I could just throw up. I'm just putting it out there on the table with you folks. So until you start to speak up, and I am president of the Corpus Christi Taxpayers Association, and I keep an eye on Del Mar College. I'm a faculty member over there, and I resent the hell out of what they're doing to the taxpayers. And that's that administration. It's called administrative bloat. Big time. Okay? And that's what happens when you have a president who comes in with a PhD in community college administration. So he's going to bloat it. And I've said why. It's to protect his buddies over there. Anyway, I'm winding down. So what I'm going to do in a second is say please email me at gsansing at gmail.com. Go on YouTube to Gerald Sansing and see what I've said in the past and the present. And I'll try to get this up first thing. Today's the 13th. I'll try to get it on YouTube by Monday or Tuesday. And you know, let me know what you think, folks. gsansing at gmail.com. And we'll see what happens from there. Ooh, Lord. Okay, we've got a mess on our hands, folks. So thank you, April 23 and Miss Lynn and Miss Connie. You know, I loved all three of you more than anything. And I'm going to go ahead and end this show. I hope I've been enlightened you and have you educated. And go raise hell with these people, folks. Go protect you. Go protect your tax money. That's all I'm requesting. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I think rather than put the banner up, I'm going to put the flowers up. And once more, you know, I appreciate you, Miss Connie, my mom, and my former wife. She's passed away not long ago. Miss Lynn, about 5 years ago. And Miss April 23. I love you three. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are some very pretty yellow roses. The yellow rose from Texas. That's Miss Connie, Miss Lynn, and April 23. So y'all enjoy this, and you know, email me, please. Let me know what I can do to help you out. And I'm gonna let this run for the duration here. And, you know, take care. Be well.